Welcome back to another edition of Research Fantasy presents the NBA Fantasy Baller DFS edition, brought to you again by Research Fantasy. For those of you who don't know me, I am Nick Vlinchak, also known as Nick from CWE on all of your favorite daily fantasy sites. I do need to shave, I see that now. But we're here to talk my three favorite tournament plays for tonight, Wednesday, March 29th, 2017. Hard to believe that the first quarter of the year is almost over, but it is where we were at. I actually had what is probably my worst night of the NBA season last night. I just went way too in on Sean Long and Alan Williams, and both of them defined the terminology mental midget to a T, being incapable of staying out of foul trouble when given pretty good opportunities, with the rest of the team around them at the position struggling. But all we really care about today is how things panned out last night. We had Kemba Walker, 39 points on a $7,800 salary, and I've said multiple times that this podcast is mostly directed towards DraftKings, since that is where most of my action is played. 39.8, I think. Not killer at 7,800, not great, but I think certainly something that you're not going to be too upset about. Then we had Dennis Schroeder at 7,800, and he produced 47 fantasy points on DraftKings, so that was a very good return on investment. And finally, we had Karl Anthony Towns, who provided 6x value, dropping 60 fantasy points on his owners. Always a good thing. Was a very good matchup. They're going to be some, repeats and similar philosophies in tonight's video. Let's head over to our model and see what our model likes tonight in terms of plays. We have Draymond Green, LaMarcus Aldridge, DeMar DeRozan, Jeff Teague, Malcolm Brogdon, Derrick Rose, get to that in 1 second, DeAndre Jordan, Russell Westbrook, DeMarcus Cousins if he plays, Avery Bradley, Kawhi Leonard, and Marc Gasol and Carmelo Anthony. So first thing we have to mention is Marc Gasol currently questionable. Why is Marc Gasol / currently questionable being mentioned here? Well, his price sits at $7K, and Memphis is the next team in line to play the Indiana Pacers. And you might be saying to yourself, why does it matter that they're playing the Indiana Pacers? Well, Miles Turner can't defend. Period. I mean, it's basically just elementary, dropping in whoever's playing center for the opposing team to Indiana. So Marc Gasol plays. Great option tonight. If he doesn't, Zach Randolph, price came up on DraftKings pretty considerably. He's now sitting at 6,300. I don't think that's going to faze me too much. I don't think I'm going to be all in, but I could see another 40-point night for Zebo. Again, Carmelo Anthony, Derrick Rose, listed in the unofficial game notes as not starting tonight. Going to have to pay a little more attention to that. Roto World reported that it wasn't from the most trustworthy source, so we will want to monitor that as the day goes on. As of this morning, I have not seen anything that indicates that they will not be playing, so pay attention. All right, now as for our top three top three tournament plays today, I'm going to head over to Boston and I'm going to talk Isaiah Thomas, 14-7 fantasy draft, 8,400 FanDuel, 8K DraftKings. The Bucks, not a team typically we are looking to target, at least at the point guard position. Malcolm Brogdon, not too bad of a defender. We did just see Kemba Walker put up 40-ish fantasy points on them last night. I'm mostly looking at the fact that I think this game stays close. The Bucks, even though they are on the second half of a back-to-back, have been playing pretty solid basketball. I think they match up well with Boston. And at 8K on DraftKings, come on. I mean, that's just a give me for Isaiah Thomas in tournaments. This guy has shown 50-plus point upside pretty much all year. He hasn't had to lately, but this is a Harden-type situation. In the games that stay close, he does seem to come through. I think he's destined to hit about a 45, maybe 50-point outing to keep his team in the driver's seat in the East. Let's go back to the well tonight as well with Dennis Schroeder of the Atlanta Hawks. Tonight they'll be facing off with the Philadelphia 76ers, and at 14-3 on Fantasy Draft, 7-2 on FanDuel, and 7,700 on DraftKings, I'm not going to stay away. He actually sees he actually sees a small price reduction, $100. It's not really big, but for a guy who's now has 3 or 4 straight games in the 40 range, he is the production on this team without Paul Millsap on the floor. I expect things to be the same once again tonight, and I will have a load of Dennis Schroeder in my lineups. Finally, my top tournament play tonight. It's hard to look past what Rudy Gobert, center of the Utah Jazz, has done. 16,000 fantasy draft, 9,100 FanDuel, 8,600 DraftKings. I don't know if anybody thought we'd be paying 9,100 at any point this year for Rudy Gobert. Hard to look past 45 plus and 60-point outings. The guy is blocking shots like mad right now. Sacramento, yikes. This is a perfect matchup because he's going to be playing with guys like Darren Collison who like to charge the rim. Buddy Hield has started to. Plus, he's just got a bunch of inferior big men with Skal Labissiere, Willie Cauley-Stein, Anthony Tolliver, Costa Koufis. He should do some damage against this team tonight. Wouldn't be surprised to see another 60-burger. That'll wrap it up. Once again, our top 3 tournament plays tonight are Isaiah Thomas, Dennis Schroeder, Rudy Gobert. Thanks for listening. Make sure to hit subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoyed this podcast. Head over to researchfantasy.com to sign up for our NBA mailing list. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Research and Win, and join us again tomorrow.